Hey everyone, and welcome. We're diving into a really big and honestly a super important question for any expectant mother. How do you know when it's actually time to go to the hospital? Knowing these signs isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely critical for keeping you and your little ones safe. So, let's get right into it.
And this quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? A lot of the time, the real danger isn't just a complication itself, it's the hesitation. It's waiting too long to get help. So this whole explainer is designed to get rid of that doubt, to give you the confidence to act fast when it really, truly matters.
All right, so we've broken down the most urgent warning signs into two parts. This first set, these are the big ones, the absolute red alerts. Think of them as the non-negotiable signs that mean you need to get moving immediately.
First up, heavy bleeding. I can't stress this enough. This is one of the most serious emergency signs you can have during a pregnancy, and it's something you can never, ever ignore.
So let's be crystal clear about this. Heavy bleeding is never normal. It doesn't matter if you're early in your pregnancy or nearing the end. It is always, always a serious sign that means you need immediate medical care. Period. Okay, next on our list is severe abdominal pain. Now, it's so important to know the difference between the usual aches and pains of pregnancy and something that's signaling a real problem.
We're not talking about a little bit of cramping here. A true red alert is a pain that's sharp, that's continuous, that just doesn't let up. This could be a sign of something really serious, like a miscarriage or a placental abruption. The takeaway is simple. Don't just brush off intense, persistent pain in your abdomen.
Now let's talk about a trio of symptoms that can sometimes show up together. A really bad headache that won't go away, sudden swelling, especially in your hands and your face, or blurry vision.
You know, these aren't just random pregnancy annoyances. They are major warning signs of dangerously high blood pressure. And when you see them together, they could be pointing straight to preeclampsia, a really serious condition for both you and your baby that needs a doctor's evaluation right away.
A high fever during pregnancy is another one that you have to take very seriously. It's your body's alarm bell telling you that it's fighting something off.
And whatever it's fighting, whether it's an infection or something like malaria, that's the real threat. Those kinds of things can cause serious problems for both your health and the baby's. So a high fever is always your cue to get checked out.
All right, let's move on to our second set of red alerts. It's so important to be familiar with every single one of these signs.
We've all seen it in the movies, right? My water broke. But when this happens in real life, and it happens early, it's a serious medical situation, not just a dramatic moment. So what do we mean by early? Basically, any leak of amniotic fluid, and it could be a big gush or even just a slow trickle before you hit 37 weeks. That's your clear signal to head straight to the hospital to prevent infection and other risks.
Okay, this one is huge, and it really comes down to you. You know your baby's rhythm better than anyone. If you feel like something's changed, that their movements are different, you have to trust that instinct.
If you notice your baby is moving way less than they normally do, or, and this is critical, if the movements seem to have stopped altogether, please do not wait. It could be a sign that your baby is in distress and you need to get to a health facility right away.
And kind of on that same note, any signs of labor before you're considered full term are a major red flag. We call this preterm labor.
This might feel like contractions, of course, but it could also just be a constant backache or a lot of pressure down in your pelvis. If you're feeling any of those classic labor signs before that 37-week mark, it's a serious situation. You've got to get to the hospital so they can monitor you and maybe even step in to protect your baby.
Now, we all know that some nausea and vomiting can be a totally normal part of pregnancy, but what we're talking about here is something way more extreme.
The line gets crossed when the vomiting is so bad that you literally cannot keep any food or even a sip of water down. This isn't just morning sickness anymore. It's a condition that puts you at a very real risk of dehydration, which is dangerous for both you and the baby. And finally, we have a group of symptoms that are frankly undeniable medical emergencies for anyone, but especially when you're pregnant. Things like convulsions, fainting spells, or any sudden trouble breathing. These require immediate, urgent action. There is absolutely no waiting with these signs. Okay, deep breath. We've gone through the critical what, all the signs you need to watch for.
Now let's switch gears to the how, which is just as important. Let's talk about the golden rule and how you can build your action plan.
This is the big question, isn't it? That moment when you feel like something's just off, but maybe it's not on our list, or you're not sure if it's severe enough. What on earth do you do when you're in that gray area of uncertainty?
And here it is. This is the single most important thing you need to remember from all of this. It's the golden rule. When in doubt, it is always safer to just go and get checked out. Don't sit at home wondering. Don't wait to see if it gets worse. Just go.
You know, knowing the signs is one thing, but you also need a plan of attack. First, know exactly which hospital or clinic you're going to. Second, have a rock-solid transportation plan, a car, a taxi number you trust, an emergency service. Have your bag packed and ready to go. And this is a big one. Make sure your partner, your family, or even a trusted neighbor knows the plan so they can help you. Being prepared is what turns that knowledge into life-saving action.
So I'm going to leave you with this final, really important question. And it's not just something to think about. It's a real task. Take a look at your transport plan. Is it ready? Like truly ready to go? Right this second, at a moment's notice? Because having that plan in place, that is the final piece of the puzzle for protecting yourself and your baby.